Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good vibes, good energy, good people. It's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now. Also, if you want to support my brand, it's inspiredbydreams.shop. That's the place to go for you to dress outside of the box, put on something new, add something new to your closet. It's always the best way, always the best look. Okay, we got a lot to talk about this morning. It's a good Friday. I'm feeling good, good energy. And yeah, I just got to bring you up on some things. We're going to talk about some health. We're going to talk about a little community. We're going to talk a little bit about everything and some topics that's going on in entertainment that I really wanted to cover that I didn't get a chance to talk to you guys about. So we're going to do a little bit of everything this Friday morning. And I hope you guys and your energy is up and feeling good. Before I want to start this off, let me see here. Hold on one second. Okay. So now, you guys remember earlier, it was early last week, I told you guys that I had went to the doctor and I was going to check up on myself and I was waiting for the result, the blood, the blood testing and the results. So yesterday I got the results and everything went really good. God is good. And I actually turned out that I'm not a pre-diabetic, but I did have some things that I needed to touch up on as far as my health, and that's me, my vitamin D, getting my vitamin D, taking my vitamins, and making sure that all my body is functioning right, so this can be at its sharpest. And I just thank God for that, and I really appreciate my family for standing by me and just going through this time because I still have a lot more to go. And this just feels like it just added so much more energy onto my life and just opened my mind up to so many other things that I want to bring to you guys that can better things out there. So I just want to tell everybody, when it comes down to your health, when it comes down to you going out there and want to be performing as your best self, your intake, everything you do, it is major. And being that I'm such a strict, I'm so strict with myself sometimes, and I can just get disciplined with the snap of a finger. What I did was I already started. I had like a good eating regimen that I was working with, and it was a healthy one. So even though I'm not a pre-diabetic, I'm still gonna stick to eating healthy, and I'm not gonna just jump now and just because I'm not a pre-diabetic and just dump a bunch of sugar down. No, I'm still gonna keep up to this regimen, and I'm actually gonna add. I have to do some exercising, so I'm gonna start and just build my way up, and that adds in more energy. And who wouldn't want more good energy in their body? I mean, it makes sense, don't it? So, where I'm at in my life right now, I feel good. I have so many other things that I want to accomplish, and this just adds on an extra, like an extra check on the list. And I'm just gonna keep up with the healthy eating, and I'm just gonna try my best to, keep myself going as far as when it comes down to that, because you don't even think about it. Vitamin D and these type of things, it can lower your body levels, and it can make you feel unbalanced. So all the slightness of, like the lightheaded sometimes, that all came from the vitamin D, and I need more of that in my life. So vitamin D, me and you, we are dating. We going in. And I want to give a shouts out to all my friends and family that supported me. I see a lot of you guys, especially on Facebook too. I love all you guys. Thank you for the support, and just my cousins, my friends. It's just just showing me love and making sure that everything was going okay. So I just want to tell them, and thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to my bro Andy Appleseed, always on my side. And I love you. And this is how we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to all, as a community, start doing better for ourselves and realize that our best investment is going to be our body, our temple, and everything, so we can be our best selves in everything we do, whether it's going out there, whether it's even performing in the bedroom, whether it's just conversating with people with the same level of energy. We need that. We need more of that. We need that, and we need God in our lives. Good morning, good morning. Love you guys, love you guys. So I really, really appreciate it. So all my friends and family, if you're going through anything or you feel like, your body's not feeling up to par, check it out. Go to the doctor, check it out. Don't be scared to go to the doctor. Don't be scared to change up your eating habits and switch it around, because it's going to make you a whole lot stronger. And the more disciplined you are with your body, the more it's going to show within your work. So I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm all right. I'm not a pre-diabetic. I guess that was just a little bit of my anxiety. I have anxiety really bad. Sometimes sometimes anxiety can make you care too much, or sometimes it can make you just steer off in a direction where it's all destruction. You just feel like, no, this is it. But really, the unbalanced feeling that came from my vitamin D, not having enough vitamin D. And come on, we need to get ourselves up, man. We gotta get ourselves to a point where we feel good about ourselves, So that's how I feel today. I have a little workout regimen, and I have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and I'm gonna nail it. All of that I'm gonna nail, eating the right thing. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now, and I'm just happy that you guys. I was so ready to talk on my live and let you guys know that I'm doing all right, and I really appreciate you guys. So that's just what I wanted to start today's morning show off with, and we got a lot of other things to talk about too. But that's one of the things that I push for people. Before you want to go out there and get the most money, or do the most building, or you have to make sure that your health is right so you can be the best you. You have to show up as your best self. And that's one thing that I'm learning. And I'm a very disciplined person. You guys know that. So I'm just ready to jump into all the healthy stuff, just exploring new things, new foods that's going to be better for me and won't take away from my energy, just add to it. And yeah, that's where I'm at with it. And I hope you guys can take a little bit of some of that with you, and just eat right, and the intake of the sugar, a lot of things. If you have anxiety, caffeine is not the best thing to do. So these are the things that's been told to me, and I just want to bring them to you because my doctor, she's the best, and she's everybody has somebody that's want to help you out, but sometimes it has to be within yourself to really take what they're saying and really put it down and really get it going. So I just wanted to start the show off like that, and I appreciate you guys for always tuning in. I'm feeling good, and yeah, gotta keep it pushing. Gotta get over these hurdles, y'all. There's a lot going on. I also have a video dropping at 11:30 later on, and that's gonna be a dope video. And I hope you guys can check it out and maybe like and share it up. In these YouTube streets, it's very hard to get this positivity ahead of the negativity, but we fighting, and we marching forward, and we're not gonna stop. We're gonna keep giving you guys good energy so you guys can go and take it with you and do whatever you're doing. Okay, the first thing I want to talk about that I didn't get a chance to speak to you about was this whole thing. I want to talk on the Diddy situation. The first thing, it's been a lot of ups and downs, but I could say with this whole Diddy situation. But I thought about it and I said to myself, no matter how it goes, because I'm hearing a lot more people are bringing in these stories, you guys, that it doesn't weigh up to. It feels like it's only weighing up to trying to get a bag, or trying to do things that's possibly, it's not really in. You're talking about somebody and when you put them in prison, you got to realize these people are losing years and years of their life. And this is not to cross out the victims, but we just want to. I'm kind of leaving it up to the courts and kind of leaving it up to the evidence of whatever they have, because at this point we see people lying, we see people, it's kind of the storm is starting to quiet down in a way, I feel like, with the Diddy case. And I feel like, just him being a billionaire, I want you to look at it like this also. Him being a billionaire and him being in prison for all of this time, up to this time, it took a real toll on him. And I'm hoping that toll that it took out of him changed all of that, that addictive behavior and all that things, just in case I don't really want to say you do 20 years, this and that, because these are things that takes people life away. I mean, the man has a family as well as his victims too. I'm not crossing them out, but it looks like he might get like a time served type of situation, or maybe a few years. But when you put a whole bunch of people up and they're making up these stories, and it doesn't say so much for the case. So I'm really waiting to see how the evidence really pulls out with this and see how it goes. I'll be watching just like you guys. I'm hearing that ABC, they have the podcast for that for when his case starts. So that's something that, and it's a sad thing too. It doesn't like, it still hurts inside because at the end of the day, it's kind of like, man, Bad Boy was one of these. It was one of the top labels of hip hop of all time, Bad Boy Records, and the music that they produced and made up to, even in the from back then up till now, to his recent work, besides the whole Love Project, because that's when things started looking really crazy. It was good music. So I just hope, and now it just hit me. Rest in peace to Kim Porter's mother, and just healing energy goes out to the family. There's been a lot of deaths going on, a lot of passings going on. That's why I say speak life into whatever you're doing. Speak life into your lives. Speak life into your comments, and that is gonna bring more life around you. The more you speak death, it's just a lot. But she died of, I believe it was natural causes. I believe she passed at the age of 93. So God bless her soul. And yeah, sometimes it's almost like a domino effect. The hurt, we got to learn how to deal with our pain and deal with the things that we don't like and the people that we don't want around us. We have to know how to set boundaries in these times, because so many things are happening that it trickles down into everybody else's life when it comes down to social media, if you get what I'm saying. So like if you hear one of your favorite rappers or somebody from entertainment, somebody gets hurt or somebody gets shot or anything like that, it's going to trickle down. And if you really care about life and you care about people, it's going to trickle down some way, somehow into your mental, and you're going to feel some kind of way. So we want to learn how to deal with our hurt, deal with the pain, and deal with other people's pain, and just being, either you're going to be a comfort or you're going to set your boundaries to stay away. That's what it's really all about when it comes down to mental health. And like I always tell you guys, mental health is going to play the biggest part in today's society, as no matter what people are thinking. I just put up a video on just reactions to how people were dealing with the Donald Trump tariff cuts. And, people are working themselves up, and they don't even know, sometimes that could hurt you, just being so worried about what's next to come. Sometimes you don't know when the hurdle's going to be put in place, but you just have to be ready to jump, 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 and keep going. Because things like that can pull you down and make you pull your energy down and make you feel like, but you have to pick yourself up and know that whatever is thrown in front of you, you can get past it. We have each other. We have a big community of people online, and it's not everybody that's putting out negative energy. There's people out here that's always willing to help people. And just like myself, that's where I fall in. That category is where I fall into. I said to myself, I was going to switch it up in a way where, I just bring you guys how I feel, but I'm really, when you see the topics and stuff, I'm lightly talking on the topics, but really I want to speak to you from my heart, and I want to speak to you and let you know how I'm feeling, and maybe that can touch people. I feel more authentic, and it feels more authentic that way for me. Just speaking on people making the same mistakes over and over and over again, it becomes redundant, and it's just something that I don't want to keep in my spirit. Keep telling people this and that when they're grown making these mistakes. It's only when the mistakes affect other people is when we speak on it. That's when it's newsworthy. Like if I'm speaking on drill music, or it's because it's hurting the kids, it's misguiding the youth. And when it comes to adults, I speak more like on relationships and, just struggle, because struggles start from early age all the way up to adulthood. And the older you get, it's not like the struggles don't, it's just different struggles, different struggles for different folks, different struggles for different situations. But there's always a way to work all the same, whether it's same or not, struggles out. You can work it out. It's just all, it depends on you. Life all depends on how you take it, how you see it and how you see people, like how you feel. Like if you don't feel right and you feel like uneasy, and then somebody comes up to you, they might be at their happiest moment, but being that you feel uneasy, it's hard to break out of that, and you're so defensive. We have to break that, take that barrier down, and just always be welcoming. And no matter how we're feeling, that welcoming is going to heal how we're feeling if we're not feeling our energy, or because we're not going to be feeling our highest energy every single day. There's going to be things that bother us. Yeah, that's life. That's how it's going to go. That's how it's going to go. But we fight through it, and we're going to make it through. That's how I feel about it. That's just how I'm giving it up. There's a lot of things going on. Another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, I was watching I had a chance to watch a few videos online, and This whole thing with Young Thug, I feel bad for him. I feel really, really bad for him because, like, we spoke on this earlier when they first gave him this like long probation or whatever, parole, probation or whatever you'll call it, and I told you how strict you have to be. To be honest with you, just from my take, when they give you when you're facing that amount of years, and they give you that, you have to abide by that by any means possible. And I feel like they're really trying to like overdo it with Young Thug. They're trying to be extra strict on him, knowing that that man is out there working. When he's making his music, that's his place of work. I've seen a lot of things saying that how he was putting out posts on that. I won't. Nobody in our black culture is that stupid enough to put out any posts trying to harm somebody when they was facing that much time. So I did not believe it, and I was glad that they rejected they saying that they revoked his probation or whatever. The judge rejected it by the grace of God, because I've watched Young Thug recently. I was watching him. You guys can go check it out on YouTube. It was a video of the making of the Dumb and Dumber, and it was Thug, Baby. It was a bunch of dope artists there, and Thug was doing his job. He was there doing his job. This is what we know him for. This is what we appreciate from him, is his music. Stop hurting people and putting these barriers up for them, because he already got out of there. I don't think that man is going to come out now and try to harm people and go out there and that means he didn't learn his lesson. I feel like he did learn his lesson. I feel like I think that court system, they are very caught up in staying in the news, staying in the public's eye, and attention. They want attention. So any little thing, they want to bring the big names back to court, and all of that is time and money that nobody has to just spare out like that. It's not fair. I see a lot of things going on with artists where artists are making mistakes, yes, but in certain cases, I definitely have to tell you the truth. I feel like they are pushing a little too hard on Young Thug. And after me hearing that, I hear now, did you guys hear like, oh, they're saying that Lil Baby is going to be next? No, Lil Baby's not going to be next. If somebody shoots a video and he's doing what his job intends, that's making music videos, going out there in certain parts of the neighborhood and telling your story is what comes with hip hop. When people say if he's not the one to pull the trigger, and he's not the one, then you can't just pull and say, oh, he's going to be next and he's going to be in court. Because look, going all this court and stuff, if you don't, the people that did whatever harm to those people should be the people that's going to be, should be arrested for that. That man was shooting a video. Now you pull him into a murder case. It's just like, I think they're doing a little bit too much with the court system and just staying in the news and wanting the attention, because it does bring in a lot of money. But how is it bringing the money? You're putting people away that's doing their job on their job. You can't really say he was a part of it unless you have evidence that and they said he was shooting the video. So it's like, I feel like out there they're targeting certain people because maybe they got away from their past. That happens too. Maybe your past was a little rough and you was a little aggressive in your past, but now that they made their money, they started their families, they moved on from that, and you still have people that's carrying on this same type of gangster life of living, and they're around, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the artists of themselves are going out there and gangbanging. That is not the case, especially when it comes down to ATL. I don't see ATL pushing in the gang direction. I know there's gangs out there, but they're not about that gang stuff. So when it comes down to that, I think we have to erase that drill energy and all that kill, kill, kill type of music and get that out the way, because that's not what really people love and stay with your music because of that. That type of music, you hear it once and you hear it over and over by so many different people. You don't want to hear it again. And when it came down to Thug and Lil Baby, those artists put out great music. They're not putting out music. I feel like a lot of artists are learning at this point what they put out, being more strategic of what they put out, and knowing that whatever they put out, people are going to be, glued into it. And if they can try to fake these things and pull it up in court, they'll tell you what you're saying, even if you're not saying it. So it's really crazy times. I want the artists out there, just stick to the music. Stay out of the way of these people that's going to be looking to put you away, because if you get caught up with any gangs or people that's not doing right in the street, You got to protect your energy. You can't be around people that's doing wrong because they have no goals in life. They have no outlooks of what's next, or if they don't even know when their next, if the tomorrow is going to come for them. And it's all because what they're doing to other people. So I would suggest that the artist that has, sometimes, back in the day you hear like, oh, everybody got killers in there and that's going to hold them down. No, that same person that you think is a killer that's going to hold you down is going to mess up your career. So stay away from them folks and you won't have to watch your back. Once you move with God, you don't got to watch your back. Once you don't hurt nobody or got no hate for nobody, all of that stuff, anything can happen. Not saying anything can't happen, but when you're in your place of work or you're shooting a video, you have bodyguards and things in place. You do that and you do what you got to do and get going and go back to your family, because we're seeing a lot of people lose their lives on silliness. And talking about that is, I wanted to speak to you guys on that young scooter. So I didn't get a chance to, when I spoke to you guys before, I spoke to you guys on when it was just happening, when it just happened. But now we find out that there was a female that she made it's almost like you could say like a prank call, a false call on him. And it turns out that in turn led him to get nervous and, he ended up passing away. So rest in peace to young Scooter. But what I have to say about that whole situation, we got to move better, and we got to know that facing the enemy, even if you feel like, and I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all. If you feel like you came out the streets, right, and the enemy for you at that point, that vision would be authority, the cops, if detectives, if you felt like that was your enemy at that point in time, when you change your mindset, that no longer becomes your enemy. They no longer become your enemy, because you have to look at your enemies are the people that are going to be jealous of you. They envy what you're doing. They want to take your spot. Those are people that have more hate, and those people will bring more harm when it comes down statistically. It will be your own people that bring more harm than you have to look at the police or those people like enemies. Because yes, there are some, cops and the detectives. We hear it all the time that they're not doing right and they're being aggressive to the community, and they're not. But there's also another point where you have to be aware of how you present yourself. And it's sad because he left back a family, and things sometimes get out of hand when your mindset is not right. You guys, you would think somebody is out to hurt you. That's probably not really out to hurt you. It was wrong what that chick did by calling the police. And I feel like she should be charged, because you don't just call police especially on any black person, unless you know you have some evidence or something that's going on and they're trying to do something to you. And then you hear her making up the story. So it really was an eye opener, and it sucks, because at the end of the day, I don't know if she even feel right with herself for what she did. Because this one, I guess, I don't know if she actually knew him or even didn't know him, but just doing things like that and causing friction in other people's lives. A lot of YouTubers, y'all don't know, go through this too. Like when they get their big subscribers, they got millions of subscribers. If your account goes up and you got a bunch of subscribers for trolling and they're doing a whole bunch of this and that, there's a lot of YouTubers, they got their house, got people sent cops to their house, detectives to their house, mailing them all sorts of nonsense. So you have to really understand that the energy that you put out there will be the energy you get back, and you don't want to be caught up in that whole mix, because somebody could. I've seen so many innocent people in jail, just like there's innocent people that get killed on a daily. So we have to know how to communicate a little better. We got to know how to deal with each other a little better. Now, due to the fact of all of the gun violence, it makes people on edge. So this is something that the youth got to know. Y'all brought I would say the bad youth that took that route. Y'all got to understand that as adults, you brought an uneasy feeling to people that's just normal day going to work and working hard and going out there on their everyday, because we've seen a lot of innocent people get caught up in these crimes when they wasn't even had nothing to do with it. Somebody shooting down the block, and now this old lady or this young little girl gets shot. These are the things that makes people on edge, and they are ready to press 911. And you can't get mad at society for that, because I don't care where you're from, what if you're aggressive or in the suburbs. Nobody wants to become part of a crime or be a victim if they didn't have nothing to do with it. And that's what we see a lot in these cases. The guns out there, oh my goodness, the guns are like army guns, so you know it's shooting through walls, cars, every single thing is shooting through. So you got to be very careful when you're out there, and make sure when you're celebrating, make sure you're celebrating it with people that want to see you celebrate and things are right, and you'll have a better control over the places you go. Me myself, I'm not the type that I'm just gonna go, especially at my age now, I'm not going to be going out there around people that, you know, got to go places with guns and things. It just doesn't make sense. I don't know why people want to attach this. It's almost like, don't attach the wrong lifestyle of the wrong rapper to your life. Some people want to go around there and they want to have the, you know, all the diamonds and this and that. Well, those type of things, depending on where you go and depending on your neighborhood, those things are looked at differently. I would say the lowest income neighborhoods, the diamonds and that type of glossy stuff, that type of stuff means way more. And the further you go up, the further you start thinking, the further you sharpen your mental in better places. Those stuff become, it doesn't get the same look at, you know, as it is. And that's just because, you know, it's just not everybody's coming from the best situations, and not everybody understands. You know, these are a lot of people are first time millionaires, first time making money, and they're just trying to enjoy their life. But as you're enjoying your life, you have to be safe. So be safe out there, and you don't have to throw in a bunch of that stuff for somebody to really love you for you. I always tell you guys that it's not really that much of a big deal. You know, it's not that much of a big deal, because you kind of get lost in the bunch when you look like everybody else. I don't know what that's about, but just like a simple, you know, hoodie, sweats, that's, you can make an everyday outfit and change it up. And then, you know, when you do step out there, you put on your little pieces in there. You know, keep, you know, kind of like, you gotta know when and where to wear certain things, and you know, you gotta know, dress to the energy of the places that you're going. You gotta know how to present yourself a little better. That's all, you know, when it comes down to that. I seen and rest in peace to young Scooter once again, because sad situations like that, it hurts not only them, but it hurts his fans and everybody that, you know, believed in him. It's just crazy. I no longer want to see rappers just passing away week after week after week after week. He shot, he killed. All of that stuff, it's not set for good energy. We don't need that, man. We're trying to get as positive energy as we can, and we're trying to live our best life the best way we know it. Another thing I didn't get to speak to you guys about was Kanye, with this whole ranting going back and forth. I see he has an album, and I'm to the point with Kanye where I feel like, honestly, you guys, I feel like he does know better. And it's almost like this drive for attention and this drive to prove a point that has already been erased by the bad things he's said. You know, like, the things that he's fighting for are so far away from his fans and the people that really thought he was somebody else. It's so far away from, like, you're the things that you're fighting for. It's just, it makes no sense. And then you call people's name out, and you're downing them. You're telling them they ain't this, and how their kids is this and that. All of that, it's like that mentality right there. That thing, that ain't good energy. I don't care how much he think that, you know, he can run around. I don't know how long he thinks he has with this type of energy. Remember what I told you? You keep doing that, and it's like he's miserable. Stay away from miserable people, because it's only gonna make you feel some kind of way. Don't be around these miserable people, man. I see, and a lot of people, you know how rappers go. They're gonna the ones that feel like he can help them out, being that he gave, you know, in the past he gave Game like 2 Maybachs, and he giving this and that. Jim Jones got 2 million for introducing somebody to him. People still feel like, I want to get around him. I want to get around him so I can get something out of him. And that right there, that mentality right there, those are the people that you got to stay away from. Those are the people that tell you how they love you or they're friends to you, but they really don't care about you, because they only come around for a certain reason. They have their own, you know. Now, when it comes down to Jimmy and those other guys, they actually knew Kanye West. They actually knew him. So that's a little bit different. And shouts out, before I miss it, Jim Jones will be doing Summer Jam. I don't go to the Summer Jam, you know, with the the crowds and stuff like that. In the past, I've did it at a younger age. I did it, but I'm hoping this time that they actually stream it. And I'm proud of Jimmy because his passion for the music is what everybody should have a little bit of that attached to. He wants to keep going, and the music is good. It sounds good, and he's going to be performing at Summer Jam. So I was like, wow, that's going to be something different. So I'm waiting to see who he brings out for Summer Jam. I know that's going to be really dope, and it's in New York. Summer Jam is very monumental. Even though it's out there in Jersey, I'm believing. I think it's back. I'm not sure if they moved it from Jersey back to out here in New York, but that Jersey and New York is like we're like cousins, and I know that's going to be a great show. So it's gonna. I'm really looking forward to seeing Summer Jam this year online. I'll be watching that, streaming it if they are streaming it. But that's shouts out to Jim Jones. He's still working hard with his music. And I'm also still waiting on the Mace album too. Not connecting two and two together, but it's just, one connects to the other. I appreciate the artists that want to keep going and want to do what they want to do, and they want to make good music and they want to put it out there. And it's up to us as fans of what we take in. So it doesn't mean that just because you have an artist out there and they might be saying something you might not be agreeing with, it doesn't mean that something else on the album, you might could find something else that can touch you. So artists are still putting their best into it. And that's what I like seeing. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear all the dope artists drop new albums and just giving us where they at up to this point. Not just, the top artists, but get out there. If it's your passion to do, get out there. And put out what you got going and let people know, how you stepped up whether sharpen your mental or change. Let people know in your music where you're at in life. And people will attach to that quicker than you just trying to find a beat that sounds familiar or trying to find something that you can try to throw out to go viral. It's just the best way of doing it. It's just the best way of doing it. So I'm still waiting to see how that whole Summer Jam thing turns out. And I'm hearing that they have Ja Rule is performing and he's celebrating Irv Gotti. So that's kind of rest in peace, Irv Gotti. So it's gonna be a big one. You guys, I don't know if you guys are going. Me myself, I'm gonna hopefully watch it online. And let me see what else I have for you guys. So Future, he paid a tribute to Young Scooter. As when it comes down to Future, his music, I feel like he's like one of the kings of the South. I look at Future as one of the kings of the South, and I feel like Future has, and I love Future's music, and I feel like he has so much more to go because he can take more control of his audience. And I know that might seem crazy, but he has the power to steer his audience. And if he says, yo, I eat healthy, he can control his audience and steer them into a better, I just feel like there's a lot that artists can do to help people instead of, just putting out the same, because all the music is good. But shouts out to Future, and yeah, I'm not sure if Future's gonna be at Summer Jam, but shouts out to Future, and always making some good music and always connecting with his fan base and keeping his base, always fed. You always got to keep your base fed, make sure that everybody, because it seems like it's like at this point with hip hop, it's like almost like an attention war. And I feel like the first people that get thrown out there are the people that's saying the most negative, but then the artists that you felt inside and the ones that you really kept dear to you and listen over and over to their albums again, they're the ones that have to take the forefront so we can get let's put a different face on hip hop instead of all this drill music and this kill music. You can't keep saying it and bringing that in your life and keep repeating it and don't think that it won't affect you. So okay, so you said if Thug is YSL, what about the victims? Okay. So when you say about, okay, so that would be saying, because you guys got to help me out here. So that would, yes, so you're implying that Thug was guilty for something. If you're saying the victims, that there's victims that, because the people, let me tell you, when it come down to the streets and they come down to, aggressive areas, there's going to be, unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of casualties, and there's going to be people that pass that didn't get a chance to change. And I feel like this is a problem that they have in Chicago and a lot of these places. It's like if you take this, like I've seen a young dude talk about it, saying that, you know, if they call truths on one side, there's also another side that's going to be still hurt from the, you know, like the victims of that side or whoever got passed on that side from these. And I understand what you're saying, but going at them to get more, to make it more victims on each side is not going to equal the pain. People think that that equals the pain. That is causing more trauma when you think like that. When you think like, you know what, maybe not, maybe being more successful or putting your energy into not directly to the people that you feel that hurt you or the victims. And even as the victims, you have to find a different energy to know that, you know what, I'm not going to, in the victim's from the victim's point of view, I would say, I'm not dealing with that type of energy. I'm not going to get back in this gang thing and going at them, because I found myself, I'm the one that ended up hurt out of this situation, whether it's a mother, father, brother, sister. So now you have to take that energy and steer it into something else that you can better your life so you would never be hurt like that again. Going back out there and you're a victim and you want to get revenge or you want to do this and do that to the other party, it's only going to keep this continued cycle that's going to be killing each other. It don't make no sense. So at the end of the day, you got to find something, you got to find a different solution than going back out there and trying to equal the pain. In other words, you know, you got to kind of like better yourself, better your family, move them out of that area if you have to, so that you can get far away from that aggressiveness as possible. Because you'll be surprised how many people in the world that's not living like that, how many people in the world that don't solve their problems like that by going out there and hurting somebody. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to pick up a gun now and run down the block to try to get whoever did that. But revenging somebody's death is so many different ways of revenging somebody's death. It doesn't necessarily mean to cause death on somebody else, because just like how they hurt, but the victims, they have families and their mothers are crying. The other, doing that to somebody else, their mothers are crying. It's still the same thing. It's still going to be a hurt in the black community. It's still going to be hurt in whatever community you might be from where this is going down at. So when you say the victims, what about the victims? Yeah, you know what? There's going to be victims in life, but it's how they, you know, how they come out of it, how they look at it, that makes them the victorious ones. So look at it like that, and it's going to be harder to, you know, take the punch in these times than, you know, just throwing it out there and hurting everybody. So you got to learn how to take the punch sometimes and let that, you know, be an eye opener of like, these people are not, I'm not safe around these people. I'm going to move away from these people. I'm going to get out of here from these people because they're trying to take my life. Like, and not only like that, you know, that fake tough guy stuff on social media, it gets praised. I see it still getting praised. Oh, like oh, so and so is going to do this now, but the people that's saying that are not even involved or have to live that life. You have to look at it like that too. So it's kind of like they're putting you into a trap. Now somebody hurt you that bad, you mean to tell me you're going to go out there and hurt yourself even worse? Because eventually it all catches up, man. It all catches up. It's not like times are getting like any dumber. No, times being with AI is getting smarter. These cases are being solved, whether it's 10 years away, they're going to be knocking at your door. So it don't make no sense. If you don't know how to control your problems, look at other people that's been through worse situations and had to come out of that. There's people that lose friends that they thought that would be there forever, and they lose them by a snap of a finger, and then they go out there and they try to portray this thug life or try to portray like they're this tough guy, and then they go out there and then what happens? They either get harmed or harm somebody, and they end up losing in the end. It make no sense. Think about it. Young Thug, Lil Baby, all of these guys, they are rappers. Some people feel good by saying that, and some people don't feel good. Some people are like, I'm not a rapper, but yes, you are. You make music. And there's a bigger level of respect for an artist than there is for a thug. The only respect that you feel right now that the thugs and all the street guys, they're getting this type of respect because at one time the artists were trying to be like the street guys, or the street guys turn into artists. But when you see that how it ends up, you see how this ends up, and you really start realizing, no, the wise guy is always going to be, the wise person always going to be the one that's going to be at the highest level. And that's the level where people, they don't want to look up there. It's too bright up there. You know, it's like when you look up there, it's like, oh, I have to change this, I have to change that. So now you don't want to change yourself. That's where you're really supposed to be. So when you get to that type of level of thinking, you no longer look at like the average street guy or just the guy standing on the corner selling your folks drugs. You don't look at him like he's some kind of king or something. He's not. What he's doing the devil's work. The devil, the devil, all hit, as much jobs as people can't find when it comes to the devil, everybody, if you want to join, you can get hired. Nobody want to sign up for that job. Doing the devil's work. The devil can do his work on his own. Still, we have people that's lost and they're coming from these dysfunctional families and they want to do the work for the devil. Not realizing that, man, if you picked up a book, you picked up some religion, you picked up some structure about your life, you could have been a way better person, a way better father, mother, sister, brother. You could have been a way better person. Why waste the time on being a person like that? It don't make sense. It just don't make sense. If you're still looking up to the street guy, the guy on the corner selling people drugs and things like that, you're really looking up to an uneducated person, a person that their life and what they think life is all about, it stops. It's at a ceiling and you just hit that ceiling with them because you can't see past the person on the corner. It's all good to be the person that's going to do something different. That's the best way to go about it. It's the best way to go about it. Instead of taking everybody's wrongs, try to look in the right things people did to get where they're at instead of just looking at it like that. Don't look at it like that. Come on now. There's a lot of kids going through depression right now because they realizing that their folks or whatever they did wrong in their life and they don't even know who to turn to. You be the person they turn to. Go, be if you can't do anything or anything at all, just be the best person you can be. That don't come with no money, no recipe, no instructions. It don't come with none of that stuff. It's just you knowing yourself and the things that's not good for you in your life, wiping them out. That's it. The best thing you can do in 2025 going into 2026 is set boundaries. From all the people you feel that don't love you and this and that, get them out of here. Get them out of here, man. If they're not there for your downs, why should they be there when you're up? It just don't make no sense. Because when you're up, people are going to be looking at you all jealous, this and that. They're going to be envying what you got going on. You got a new light, a new shine on you. You got a new glow on you. And people want to come and wipe that off. No, you got to keep that glow up. That glow is the glow of God. It's the glow that is going to take for you to be your best self. Why would you want to throw that away for somebody just trying to be a thug or somebody in the street? There's no props in that. That only bring hurt and karma. All of that stuff right there it'll get you in a coffin so quick, you guys. You don't even know, man. You got to really appreciate living. You got to appreciate your life in these times. That's why I always tell you guys, as much as look, I don't put all them toxin stuff in my body. If I'm going to get a little tipsy off of anything, it'd probably be a Guinness. I'm not putting no liquor in my body doing this and that. Them same people selling you liquor, you think they drink that liquor? They don't drink that. Because eventually that catches up to you. And it starts changing who you really are. And you don't even realize that. You don't even realize that. Start putting, when you're healthy, you're going to start, everything you do is healthy. Whether it's conversations, whether it's anything you have going on is going to be healthy. You keep them healthy people around you and you keep that healthy mindset and you'll see and you'll thank me for thinking different. Trust me, not everybody out there is out there to harm you or hurt you. There's people out there right now looking for love. You just haven't found them because you're so used to seeing the people that's blinded by it. You're right. Elaine, you ain't lying. God bless you. It's a lot of insecurities. And that, that right there, it's not, I won't blame insecurities on anybody in these times. Being that this social media show up here, y'all, this is something different, y'all. If you had a little bit of insecurities in the past and social media added into it, oh my, it's 10 times up. Because you see people and you have questions about things and you want to do better in your life, but you're seeing their highlight reel and you're like, I don't know. But when you really think about it, it's not that to say that they're not happy, but it's also to say, you know what, that might not be the lifestyle for me. We all want to do good for each other, but that might not be the lifestyle for me. You see what Bill Gates just did with his family? I said it was 10% or something like that. When he passes away, he's going to leave to his kids. But there's a lot of love in that gesture that I took out of that. He didn't want to see his kids crash out, and he's seen it time and time again, a billionaire. That man will tell you, man, if you don't believe anybody at all, if the money is what makes you believe in a person, well, believe in that the reason why he gave only 10% when he passes is because he doesn't want them to crash out and try to live up to this lucky lifestyle that he was lucky enough to live. So when you think for other people and put your foot in the other person's shoe, you start to look at it like, you know what? Damn, that lifestyle, it wasn't even for me. You don't want to go pick up the guy or you don't want to go pick up the girl that's looking around and lost, and they every new face they're ready to attach to. No, you want to pick up the person that all they can do is see you in everything you do. That's how love starts and lasts for a long time. You see a lot, and it's not to down any celebrities. I'm trying to kick it in a way where if anybody's going to be down, I'll down myself to make myself the example in these times. But you see a lot of celebrities breaking up because they picked the wrong person. They picked somebody that they felt looked good with them instead of somebody that really, got to know them. Just got to know them outside of their celebrity, And that's a hard thing to do when you're in those spaces where people see you and look at you like this and that. And you want them to see, you want them to understand the real you, but the celebrity is what attracted them. So you find yourself in this little space where it's like, and it ain't good. It ain't good. Attach yourself to people that's going to care for you, Don't, trust me. It's one thing about looking good, feeling good, but it's another thing about somebody really caring about you and how you feel about them, and you guys go back and forth. Those make the best relationships. Start as friends, as close friends though. A different type of friendship, Start as close friends, and then slowly, if you build up love for a person, you always let people know how you feel. Like, no matter what you want, where you want to take this, I love you. So I'm letting you know. How are we gonna go all the way out, or are we gonna just sit here and just pretend like we don't love each other? That's how you really got to break the ice. You don't want to break the ice going out there trying to love somebody because they're behind this big, or they look like this or look like that person, because all of that stuff is the imaginary life that we don't want to, put in our life. I'm a stand-up guy, but I made mistakes in the past too. I feel like some of the mistakes I made, like I learned quickly from them, but I just feel like when it came down to love with me, I really, being that I was loved from a youth all the way up to my adulthood, I was loved so much that I wanted to match that love with somebody else out there. And I feel like how I kind of like, I can't push that on somebody else to know how I grew up and understand me for me. But I feel like I make my mistakes and I try to learn from them. I'm always hard on myself a lot. So I kind of got to that point too. Like, why didn't I catch that? Why didn't I do this? And I could have did this better. And I'm always like doing that to myself. And that's what made me in. But I'm a stand-up guy. I got a niece that I really, really love. And she's like my own daughter. And I do everything and do anything for her. And I stand by her. So yeah, it takes a couple years as we grow to really get to a point where you feel like, you know what, I can feel the value in myself, and now I want to share this with you. That's how you gotta feel. I don't feel like I always felt like ain't no man gonna step me up, especially when it comes down to the females, because I know when I get with a female and I get to know a person, I'm gonna go all the way into knowing a person. I'm not shy. I'm always giving somebody my all, and sometimes that's a bad thing, and sometimes it's not, but it's your truth, and you have to come like that in these times. Be as truthful as possible. What do you want out of this relationship? Do you really love that person? Do you want a long term? Have you been long in a long term for a long time? And let people know your truth, and people you'll understand they'll tell when the more truthful you are with somebody, the more truthful they're gonna be with you in these times. Trust me on that. Trust is everything right now. It's hard for people to trust, because we've been fooled and bamboozled in so many different, besides relationships, just so many different, our jobs and different things that make us break our trust. But when we get back home and we settle down and we get to ourselves, we know we can't take trust out of our life, because that will leave us with a unhappy life. So we have to trust somebody, somewhere, or something. Trust somebody, and then it make you open up a little bit more, because I don't usually, when it comes down, these lives have been like a whole new experience for me. These are things that I had inside, and this is how I conducted myself. But if it helps somebody else to go a different route, or a different look, a different way, I feel good within that. And I learned from it myself too. So I'm learning to be, I appreciate that though. But yeah, I'm still, as just being a stand-up man ain't enough in these times. You know what I'm saying? Like just being a stand-up person, yeah, you can stand up for things, but I want to be able to lead and work with you and just go all the way instead of just, I want to move with you too, like I want to move with you too, man. And we got to get back to that. Let me see. I had enough something. Oh, so Lil Wayne, he's just on another note. Let me see what y'all saying. I appreciate you. It's always love over here. It's always love. Lil Wayne, he's dropping the Carter 6, and I'm happy for him. This is another person that's passionate about his music, so I'm happy to hear Lil Wayne is coming back out with the Carter. I'm not going to be comparing it to anybody out there. I'm just treating Lil Wayne like Lil Wayne, and I'm happy to hear his music because I know from his past work, he puts everything into his music. He constructs his, anybody that love Lil Wayne know that he changes the energy and the time. So I'm hoping and I want to hear this Wayne. I want to hear the Wayne that got over the hurdles. And, he's lived a rock star lifestyle where, a lot of drugs, a lot of this, a lot of that is all in his lifestyle. And he made it out of that. I do want to hear the Wayne now. I do want to hear the Wayne, Lil Wayne in our present right now. So I'm open to that. Carter 6, I believe it's dropping, June 6th of 2025. So it's going to be really dope. Weezy is going to be back. And I think this time around, we're going to see like elevated side of Lil Wayne that we once loved. So yeah, and this is without the drugs, you guys. So this is a perfect example because I don't think Lil Wayne is back on that stuff. So this is going to be a perfect example of how good and great you can be off of that stuff. Because when you're on that stuff, you're saying blah, 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 blah. Even if God gave you the gift to make music, it's not going to mess up the music all the way. But when you put in your head, this is why you make the music, that's when you're wrong. That's when the alcoholism and the drugs take over, because the reason why how you make that music is God. It's not that bottle. It's not that blunt. It's not that weed. It's not none of that stuff. But people put that in the way so they can keep that as a crutch to keep doing that as well as making the music. And we got to grow up out of that and realize that, no, you can do it without that stuff. And you can lead people in a different direction. So, yeah, I can't wait to hear what's going on with the Carter 6. That's going to be really dope, too. So that's another album that I'm really going to be looking forward to. What else we had out here? Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. So I'm hearing that this is gonna be a classic. I feel. Chaka Khan, she's dropping a new album. See, good music is timeless. That's the thing about it. How you make people feel with your music will live a life longer than you would ever imagine. And anybody that feels like, that they want to come back and they got some good energy to bring, please step up. We need you artists to really step up and just add some more good energy in our lives. We're going through a lot out here. It's not like we make a whole bundle of money like you guys. So at least have some ear and some heart for the people that support you and your fans, and know that everybody's dealing with something, but you can just imagine that the little people, what we have to go through to make ends meet. And just in these times, the prices are sky high, man. The prices, with all this tariff cuts and all this and that, we don't ever know what's next. All we can do is just pray to God that things work out for us, man. Not coming up here trying to front like, oh, it's not affecting me. No, it's affecting everybody, whether they're rich or not. People don't know if they have to save this, hold this, put this to the side, sell this. Everybody their minds are racing when it comes down to the money controls the world we see. So we have to relax our mind and know that it's gonna work itself out. It's gonna work itself out, man. But yeah, Chaka Khan, she's dropping a new album. I don't have a date on that album, but I know that's gonna be good too, because she makes great music. Hold on. No, I'm not giving any people that passed away shout outs. I'm not in that energy, Healing energy goes to anybody that lost somebody, a victim of the gun violence, just anybody that passed. Healing energy goes out to y'all and your family. and know that your energy is going to be the next thing to keep you sustained for the younger ones coming up. Show them how to deal with this type of pain. Show them, so when if God forbid they have to go through it, they're like, well, I seen how my father, my mother handled it. You know, show them that. Show them that side of you. Show them your stronger side, instead of showing this side where you just don't know what you're doing and you're wilding out. Don't show the kids that side. Take that energy out of here. Another thing I wanted to, I do have 11:30. The video that I'm gonna give you guys 2 videos today. One of them I'll tell you about. It's on modern day parenting, and it's like gentle parenting, or are you the the tough one, the hard on the kids type of parenting. And it just gives you a different dynamic of both, and how they can help and how it could hurt. So I want you guys to check that out as well. I'm trying to see what else is on here. After this, you guys, you know what I'm doing? I'm gonna a good breakfast, as well as a short little workout, and I have this design that I want to make into like a whole outfit. In other words, hat, hoodie, sweatpants. It's gonna be like a whole little outfit. So I have to get the design and everything finished. I'm not almost finished with it, but it's halfway done, I would say, that I want to work on. So you probably see that drop go up for next week, maybe Monday or Tuesday. You'll see. I'll give you guys the info on that. But right now, I got some really dope pieces you guys got to really check out. And yeah, it's just that's the type of energy I need you guys to be on, especially when you're dealing with summertime is coming. We want to celebrate, feel good about ourselves, party. This type of energy, you need that. Oh, I really appreciate you, man. I needed that this morning. You know, it's hard when for the youth. You got to see you also got to see it through their lens too. Especially you have a son. Us as boys, we're gonna see the action before we see the destruction in things, because the way society makes it look is that the tougher person is going to be the one that comes out on top in the end. And the more we start realizing, so in other words, you got to show your son, you got to show him different looks of success, instead of because social media and the news and all this, they're going to show you that one successful, all on the camera and that type of success way. But if you show them different ways of success and show them different people that were successful in different ways, showing them like, no, they're rich too. If that's what it is, they're rich. He's rich. He's this, he's that. And then, word, really? Yeah. He did this and he made it there, and he didn't even have to stand on that corner. He didn't have to run from somebody shooting him down. He can wear his jewelry there. He got that Rolex at his job. They gave it to him. You start showing people a different route of success, and then that's when this opens up to be like, you know what? I do want. The more people want to be different, the more people want to become more like their individual self. It's the more that they'll stray away from what everybody's doing. See, I was always in the place where I was like, oh, if everybody's wearing this whole outfit, like you got the hat, you got the sneakers, and you got the outfit from the same store, I always look like, you know what? At this concert, everybody's going to be, whoever buys this is going to take, like the regular eyes is going to grab this whole outfit, and then we're going to be all looking crazy. I'm always you got to think like that. You want to match your energy how you feel. And then once in the blue, you'll see somebody that's familiar to your energy, and you look over like, wow, they're in that same energy. Wow, that's crazy. You'll start seeing more people. But the majority are all going to look the same. The majority of news is all going to sound the same. The majority of the success that they're showing is all going to look like it's entertainment. But there's so many other people successful in different fields that you can say, you know what? I'm not going over there. I'm just going to use entertainment for entertainment to entertain me as I go on to the thing that I love doing. So finding new things to love, new people to love, those are the things that's going to change their mind, regardless if they want to change it or not. And that is the trick to it. Sometimes you got to spoon feed them a little bit of success from different things and give them a little bit of tricks and things that could get in their head and say, you know what, oh, they made this too, yeah. And now they become more educated to tell and want to tell other people like, oh, what's that you're doing? Oh, this is this. And you start realizing like, okay, after I have to kind of come through the back door because the front door was already open and social media then poured everything on from sex all the way down to the money to the air. So if I come through the back door and show him a different route with the same successful points that he likes, that drove him to open his eyes to that, then he's going to be all right. He's going to find his love in other things and find his love in other types of people that made it to these successful points without having to go down that route. And that's the best way of looking at life right now. Best way of looking at life. I feel, the older you get, we start shaving off stuff to make ourselves better because we done put on so many different things, so many different outlooks of things and how the world wants us to be and how they expect us to show up and do this and that. And then we start realizing, no, we want to show up the way we want to show up and we want to feel good when we show up. So we start taking off as we get older. So as the kids are coming up, you kind of got to knock it out the way before they start putting that stuff on them and take that off so they'll have a light way going up. And then from that point, they can take off for themselves and, and another thing too is, you don't have to be so. I don't think that we're gonna ever erase social media. It's not gonna go away. It's so in our face in our lives. So we just gotta give them a better way to look at things. Like you see something going on, you're like, oh, that person's hurt, and I'm gonna tell you why. Here's a solution why they hurt, this and that, and that's why this is gonna lead to this. And once they start seeing these things play out, and it's starting to come intuition, like how you said it was, and things. It's not like making you a psychic. It's almost making that trust, you're building that trust with that person. Just like you have a kid, it's just like having a husband, a boyfriend. You have to build trust with people. And the more you build trust, they trust in your word. They trust in what you're saying is right. And that's been lost too because of the time that social media takes from us to deal with our people and talk to our people and bust it up with our people. Social media kind of plays a way in that and gets in the way sometimes. So you get social media out the way and you start directly, and eventually you'll be all right and he'll be all right. You'll be all right. I knew right from wrong from since a kid, and I always felt like I was always older than I was even when I was younger. So it's something that it's a weird thing, but it's something that you just, when you keep striving for better and you want more out of a situation, you look for that and you yearn for that, and that's what leads you to that. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you anytime. You know that. I try to stay in love with my moments and try to make the best of everything, because when you think about it, it could be worse. It could be worse. It could be worse, y'all. It could be worse. And even if it gets worse, we'll all be prepared. We'll all be prepared. We're not going to go out hurting inside. We're going to go out smiling and appreciating whatever came to us and whatever moments we had. We're going to enjoy that. We enjoy that. And that's what brings a fulfilling feeling within yourself. I could think back where I could sit in the chair and think about some great times and my whole body feel good. But if I sit back and think about all the pain, the people that passed, that's when it starts tearing you up because you no longer, you're drifting. You don't want to drift away with your mind and drift away into that, because the people that love you want to see, if they really, really, really love you, they don't want you thinking about their passing all day. They don't want you to be thinking about them because it's pulling you down. You got to keep yourself up, and we're going to stay up. We're going to stay up. I promise you, we're going to stay up. Even if it's 1 or 2 or 3 people here and there you meet along the way, you keep them people close to you. You keep them people close. So, man, I appreciate y'all. Damn, got me feeling a certain way. But, that's just, life is crazy like that. Life is crazy like that. It's no longer what you see can fool you now. That's the trick. It's no longer like, what you see. I seen it with my own eyes. No, what you saw could still trick you. It's like the guy with the little things, you put the little ball under the cap and he's moving it around and you swear you see it in the middle, and then when you open, there's nothing there. That's how life is treating us right now. But the more we realize, you know what? For me to not get tricked, I don't got to play that game. I don't want to play that game. Because you're the best at fooling people with that game. And if I go in there, I don't know if my chances will be as good because my energy doesn't, I don't know what's going on here. The more I stand here, the more I get caught up in it. So even if I lose, I have to chalk it up to me just the experience. But you take a lesson out of everything, whether it's the small things or the big things, and you move on with that lesson. And no matter what, you still gonna you keep the jewel. When you learn the lesson, you're the one that's good at the end of the day, no matter what happened to you. Trust me. Like, I learned that, I seen what you did. Okay, cool. That'll never happen to me again. Some people are like, no, I want to keep going back. And that cycle of just trying to beat out or get them back for what they did to you, that cycle is a never-ending cycle that we got to break in our community. We really got to break. Sometimes not doing anything is the best thing to do. You know? That's where I'm at with my energy. I'm just so happy. I feel like just knowing that what I have to do and keep my body and my health up, that's everything for me, you know? Not being a pre-diabetic, it was great news too. I thought I was a pre-diabetic. That's my anxiety. But I'm going to still keep to that healthy way of eating. That I'm not going to take away. So that is the lesson I got out of that. The way I eat, I have to be more structured on the things that I put in my body. So I'm still going to stay on that and still keep it pushing, keeping it healthy. That's all. That's what I'm on this Friday. It's a little gloomy out here in NYC, but the sun's still shining. It's still shining. So you got to look forward to the good things, man. That's how I feel. There's gonna be a lot of a lot of dope music I'm looking forward to. I'm just happy that I get a chance to at least, come and give you guys my best self. When I'm not feeling my best self, even if I show up, it's still like it's like half-assing you guys. And I don't want to half-ass you. I want to always come from the heart. I don't want to just come half-ass. Whenever I feel like that, I just put up a video so you guys can check it out and hold that energy until I can get back and get myself back to where I want to love you guys like how I want you guys to love me, man. That's all it's about. A lot of wicked people out here in this world, and they think selfishly because some people are down to they don't know what's next. So that whole selfish texture just comes on, and they feel like they're protecting them and their family being selfish. No, when you be selfish and like that, that thing stays on you, and people, after a while, it starts showing in everything you do. No, be open to what's next, and be open to other families' little traditions and things that help their family out to add to yours. There ain't nothing wrong with that. That's what we are here for. That's what culture is about. That's how we communicate. That's how we do us. You see how the other cultures out there now, they're looking for everything is money driven. Y'all ain't peep that though? Everything money driven now. Like, everybody, like, they feel like a world crisis is because money, and you got people pulling their stocks and shares out and things like that. When all of that stuff don't mean nothing. Don't mean nothing. Your way of living is everything. What you put inside. A lot of the stuff that God is going to save the good people, because all of that stuff that you thought you needed and all that food that you thought you was going to buy wasn't healthy for you anyway. You see how God works? It's for you to learn the lesson within that to know what to do next. But that's just life, because no matter what we are just people. God is God. The Most High is going to always be in control of everything we do. Even them wicked people out there thinking that they doing wicked and getting away with it. You see how karma catching up quicker than ever? Back in the day, karma never catch up so fast. It never catch up so fast. Nowadays, karma is catching up like this because the more you put all that stuff on social media, the more it affects people. And that right there, the energy is, oh my goodness, I can't believe it. I see it with my own eyes, with my own two eyes. I said, damn, karma catching up with people so quick. And they don't realize, they just keep bopping to the beat, bopping to the beat. But I'm looking like, man, look at this though. America, everybody, and you see how like some of our people that's lost, and they're telling people, oh, you're this and you're that, and they're pointing finger at other people cultures and making fun of people cultures and things like that. They wicked, y'all, they wicked. Instead of getting to know somebody, they're ready to point the finger. The easiest way out is always going to be that way. Point the finger, oh, y'all did this to me, so this is what I'm doing to you. That's the easy way. But when you ask, why'd you do that to me? Why'd you hurt me like that? I was hurt by that. That's hard. That's hard to do, to sit there with it and know why you did it. People, families that y'all thought that were the richest and this and that, they're having problems at home, the turmoil because the kids are lost. I told you this was going to happen with the mental health. Because yes, you have all of this and all of that. But when the kid goes out there with all of this and all of that, and the kid get no respect now, and they look back, why is it, and they can't get ahead and be themselves because they have this picture that they have to uphold, people are unaliving themselves. That's why you see now some of the rich people wising up and they start helping people and start like putting funding other cultures and things like that, because they want to break out of that. It is a generational curses. These are real things. People, when you don't, if you don't know about a spiritual war, it's because you don't have religion implemented in your life. But what we don't see could be the most dangerous. What we do see, you can block yourself from that. But the spiritual war, the people that don't got religion in their life, they don't have no answers to the things that's happening. So they don't know. It's just like everything they feel like is on their shoulder and heavy for them. But it's not that way. You see, when you understand and you move with God, you wipe off a certain type of fear that anxiety can attach itself to. That's one notch down on your anxiety belt when you believe in God. It's still going to affect you a little bit, because anxiety don't just have to do with your mindset. It got something to do with your nerves too, and everything like that can play a part in anxiety. But for the most part, up here will be clear to know that there is a better thing coming tomorrow, and you can get past it. And those will always be the strong-minded people. You see, the strong-minded people, and in these times, they might not be the richest of people, but they'll definitely sure be the happiest. I promise you that. I promise you. The person that can live and understand and love the things that surround him and the people around him is going to have a way better, happier life. I promise you, y'all. I promise you. Not the person that's weighing their dates out on, paying this or how much you pay for this or that. All that stuff is good too. And you can always implement that in your life if you're blessed enough to do that. But that's not what makes these experiences what they really are. Think about it. Think about it. You don't have to look over at anybody anymore and say, oh, well, they have more than me and this and that. You don't know what them people have. Them people could have a ton of regrets. Remember I told you, good people have tears of joy, where the bad people, they have tears of regrets. You don't want to have the tears of regrets. You want to have tears of joy. Even if it hurts you, you still laugh and remember the good times. And people are like, why are he laughing? Man, because we had some of the best, too many good times for me to just sit on this bad time. That's why I'm laughing. That's why I feel good. So I want you guys to take that energy and never forget the people around you is going to be the most important to you in these times. Have some people that really love you. Don't let nobody tell you who's love you or how you're supposed to live. How you supposed to be. If everybody is supposed to live the same way and live in all these big homes all around the world, you think people would have compassion for each other? There's a reason why there's a balance in life. Some people see it at a certain point in their life, and some people see it different at a certain point in their life. But both of those people could be the same good people. It's just your experience, and whatever God has for you, you're not gonna pass it up, because you're gonna be ready for it. So don't sit around like these people and just hope something fall in their lap. No, go out there and do what you gotta do. Go out there and do what you gotta do. Yeah, people are making millions and millions online and things like that. But if it don't suit you, it don't suit you. I'm not making no millions online. I'm a small content creator. Make a little something here and there, a little gas money, man. But I appreciate it, because I know that when I'm doing something, I'm getting something back for it. So I look at it like that, instead of looking over at so-and-so and this person. Oh, they got millions of dollars, this. Now, I don't know how they got their millions of dollars. I don't know what they put into the universe that got people to get to them, and whether it was good or bad. I don't know what it is, and it's not my job to figure it out. My job is to figure out what I'm doing, what I'm going to put into the universe to make people want to sit around and understand that they can do the same things and still get these same accomplishments done. That's what it's all about, man. That's life, baby. I can't say any more on it. That's just the way it is. Some people are gonna believe you, and some people are not. Some people are gonna feel like, yo, I can only believe the guy because he's rich. He's everything he say because he's rich is gonna be right. But that guy over there, I don't think he has as much. I think he's just lying and he's this and that. There's gonna be people like that, misguided. Meanwhile, the guy over there was the richest one. Not only did he have something to save, but he has something to live for. He didn't have to watch his back. He didn't have to be around people that he didn't want or couldn't trust. He didn't have to cover his drink everywhere he went because he didn't want somebody to throw a drug in it. He didn't have to follow behind anybody, walk to any stores for any cheesecakes. He didn't have to do all he had to do is show up like himself, and that love came pouring in. Find yourself some good people. I love you guys, and I really appreciate you. Stay tuned for my videos. Share this video. Share this live. Let people know that there's still good people out here in this world, even though it might look like bad people are running it. It's not like that. It's not like that. Trust me. Good people going to always show up for you. Good people going to show up. I believe in that, and I'm going to stick to that. And I'm going to leave you guys with this one. Be good to the people that's good to you. You'll find more people that are attached to you when you open yourself up to people. And don't hold things in that'll hurt you. Let it out. Even if you gotta let it out in front of the mirror, let it out. Scream it out if you have to, and get it out of you. You know, the things that you hold in here are the things that you're gonna remember forever. Don't hold nothing in here that hurts you. Don't do that. It's like putting a knife to your chest. Don't do that. Don't do that. We got to make it through. All right. Love y'all. And I appreciate all of you guys for showing up for me. I'm back. I'm healthy. And I'm going to keep getting healthier and healthier and healthier and healthier because I want to live. I want to live a greater life than I've been living. And I just want to do more for people. You dig? That's how you're supposed to go on with your life. I'm not going to get into like all the negativity today. I just didn't want to touch on any of that negative stuff. Be good to people and love on people, all right? Until next time, it's your boy, Mickey Fenty, a.k.a. Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now. Peace. Love.